at 10 o'clock p.m. Most of our young adults will then depart from Old Landmark because we know that they can't stay the full week. We're asking them in advance for that one day, that one night stay to be a part of the Old Landmark activities. And so then with that being said, do we have any questions about that change that will be made for Tuesday night? Tuesday night will look a little different this coming session. We did receive permission from our moderator to move forward because I did not want this to be a surprise to him, that I stand before him and you to make this announcement. So we did talk with him in advance. He is aware of most of it. Some of it was an announcement. Yeah, okay, I see you smiling over there. So now, moderator, what I'm asking permission for is the Mike Night and the fellowship. Our pastor of Blue Ridge Baptist Church has given permission for us to host the Mike Night and the fellowship, which will occur right after benediction Tuesday night. And so then the young adults will have their fellowship and we will exit the church no later than 10 o'clock p.m. Tuesday night will be Tuesday is the day that we would have our activities, our annual activities. Is that okay with our moderator? Thank you so much. We will extend courtesies to Reverend Jimmy Hunter. We will offer him one night stay at the Candlewood Suite, which is where Blue Ridge Baptist Church is securing the rooms. We will offer him the one night stay. And then, of course, we will give him a love gift, okay, for his coming. And that will not be an expense to Old Landmark Baptist District Association. We will take on that expense. And in saying that, this is a planning session, amen? In saying that, I would like your permission to organize a committee with Amber Simmons, Reverend Grogan. Reverend Grogan, I understand, will join the young adults this year.
Yes.
Okay, he will join, so that we can come up with at least 2 activities that would generate the funds that we need. And because we'll add some other members to that committee, but from Macedonia, Reverend Grogan and Amber, and I'm looking at Reverend Norman Johnson, if I can get someone from, because we would use both of your congregations for one of the venues where we would raise the funds, is my thinking, and then Blue Ridge Baptist Church would be the second venue where we would host whatever it is that we come up with, and then the monies that are raised from those 2 activities would be the money that we would turn over to Sister Kanzetta Johnson, and then a check would be written to Reverend Jimmy Hunter. Did I make myself clear? I see Reverend Johnson shaking his head. Amen. Thank you, Reverend Johnson. I'm waiting on my moderator to shake his head. It's okay. Amen. Well, when you get them on the spot, I tell you, they can't help it. To God be the glory. I love you, Old Landmark. I love the fact that when I came into Old Landmark some years and 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 years, I'll date myself, ago. Yes, sir. I was received by the women of Old Landmark. I was encouraged to participate in Old Landmark. And I didn't take that invitation lightly, Sister Softly. I love Old Landmark. I love what I do. I love that God is using me. And so at this point, all I can say is to God be the glory as we move forward, working with our children, working with our young adults. Our young adults are also a part of the women's program this year, moderator. Amen, 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 amen. As you see, we are slowly disappearing. We're slowly disappearing. And if we don't take this opportunity to move these young adults forward, these willing young adults
Amen.
forward,
Amen.
we're going to find ourselves in gaps that's going to be so difficult to fill. We're going to feel,
Amen.
F-E-E-L, the gap. So please know that we have young adults who are willing to work in Old Landmark. They grew up in Old Landmark. They want to be a part of Old Landmark, and they're yours for the asking. Amen.
Amen.
Have you checked with the
And I checked with Reverend Hunter. I have not because I needed permission first. And so now that we've secured permission,
I know that he's moderator of Union. And they
now, is he
And they have that district association
the same time as I was? Well, we're going to have to work that out. Last time I spoke with Reverend Jimmy Hunter, we were at Houston Tillotson. He was a speaker at one of the workshops that Dawn attended. And we just kind of, threw it around a little bit, but thanks for that information. And so we may have to do something different because I understand that Tyrone Mann, who was Jimmy Hunter's replacement when Reverend Jimmy Hunter left, Tyrone Mann stepped in. I understand that Tyrone Mann is back at Olivet. And so God always has a ram in the bush.
Hey, Sister Gwen, he
Yes.
put his fingers on the piano keys and Old Landmark.
And so,
He wanted to play when that was all he could.
amen, amen, amen. I know you guys remember Tyrone Mann, and if we have to use Tyrone Mann, we will still extend the same courtesies to,
Amen.
it's Reverend Tyrone Mann, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Reverend Tyrone Mann. Amen, amen.
I'd like to say good morning, Old Landmarkers.
And
We are just happy to be present here this morning. We went through our program on yesterday as usual. And the only thing about it, our men department has decreased more, and we still have a problem. Although we are trying to figure out a way to work on the program, the problem, Brother Proctor has a plan that we are going to use to try to, with the approval of the dean, the moderator, to get this off the ground because of the fact that we need men. And there's a lot of men that are still, I might say, you call it, when a worm, a butterfly go into its what? Cocoon?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of our men are still there. And I noticed on yesterday when we went to our place worship, we was placed in the kindergarten, which decreased us and brought us down to the kindergarten grade. So we are now in the process of trying to build ourselves back up. And Brother Proctor, he wants to step in and see if he can do it. And so I'm hoping that the moderator will accept him and let him be a part to do such a thing as build our men.
Amen.
We need men.
Amen.
I know when Christ came on the scene, he had 12, but always gonna have somebody disobedient, gonna do wrong, and you end up with 11. But we still want men. We still need men. So we're hoping that we can get those men. I had a new brother came in on yesterday, and that was Brother Jeremy Baines, and he won a full gospel member, and I was glad to see him. And the thing that we had got up to, I was trying to get 100 men, and we had got up to 25, and now we're back down to 4. So we decreasing instead of increasing. So we want to increase instead of decreasing. We're hoping that we can get the men, that Brother Proctor can do a great job and getting these men. He sounds like, to me, he's a man builder. And this is what we are looking for, is someone who can build them up. So we had our meeting yesterday. We started at 2:30 in the evening, and we must have ended up somewhere around about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And we talked about building up men in the churches. And that's what we are looking forward of doing and trying to get them to be a part. You know, they never had a problem with the women. The women was always, even when Jesus went to, even with Jesus, they was the first, and when he rose, the women was the first thing that was at the tomb. But where were the men?
Hiding
And
out.
hiding, you know? And that's what we are doing now. We are still hiding. And the women are still where? On the scene. So we are hoping that we can get our men to be a part and come out of their cocoon. That was a time when the men in the association didn't have nothing to do in the association. Not one thing. I can't think of the brother name now, but he's light-skinned man, but I can't think his name.
King?
But no, he wasn't King. But he always would leave his hometown. I don't know where he leave at night or during the day, but on Sunday morning, he'll be at somebody's church. No, it wasn't McGee. He was another brother, but I can't find his name, but I will get his name.
Is it Brother
And-
King?
No, ma'am. But that man raised a lot of sand. The moderators did not allow men to do anything in the church. I mean, in the program. We didn't have a spot on the program. The women did. I was a young man at that time. I was somewhere around about my 20s. Yeah, long time. 20-something.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying here is, I let you know that something, during that time, men didn't have anything to do. They had good, educated men, biblical, learned men, but they didn't have nothing to do in the association. So now we have an opportunity, and we don't have no men. At that time, we had plenty of men. But now we don't have no men. So we are hoping that we can, Brother Proctor can do something and instill into our churches and to our pastors and to our moderators the idea that the men still have a part to play. And we are looking forward for that. At this time, we're going to have Brother Proctor come up and explain to us what he planned, what he has in mind. Brother Proctor.
Amen.
Brother Edmonds, moderator, cabinet, communication staff, members and friends. Brother moderator, you have a copy of the form that was generated for this purpose. What we have on here, we'd like to get the information of the pastors from each church that's a member of the old landmark. We would like to be able to send them texts and emails. And the first thing we would send them was envelopes so we can get the information from the pastors. And the only thing we would ask for probably would be some staff. We would get the envelopes ourselves. And we would send this to them to get the information and we would send it back. So what we're trying to capture is to get from the deacon board, something called the deacon ministry, for the brotherhood, President courses, and the superintendents of Sunday schools. We want to incorporate all those factors of each church to try to get a membership list of each male in that church, so we can personally send them a invitation to come to the old landmark from the president of the Lagos Auxiliary. And that we think we can capture, because some men that we have encountered in the past have said they didn't know anything about it. They had to be talking to another member of another church, and that's how they got the information to come to the old landmark. But we personally want to take our time to send a personal invite to each and every male of every church to become a member or come to at least one session of the old landmark. If we get 2 people out the whole field, that's better than what we got now. Thank you all for your attention.
Amen. I want to thank Brother Proctor for what he has done. Thank you.
What you got?